Do you think Minnesota has what it takes to get back to the conference finals? Leave your thoughts below in the comments section. Now, they didn't do much this offseason, so if they want to take another step, the improvement must come from within. Honestly, I believe this season is more about unleashing the youth to figure out who can play and just figure out where their young guys are at with their development. Now, immediately they need to address the point guard position. Moving forward, I mean, what happens when 37-year-old Mike Conley retires? The funny thing is, I feel like the perfect addition for them would be adding prime Memphis Grizzlies Mike Conley to this core. Many optimistic fans believe Rob Dillingham could be the answer. Did you know ESPN has him listed at 6'3"? There's no way. I thought he was like 6 foot. I guess his weight and scrawniness made him look a bit smaller to me. I don't know. Something fishy is going on. Am I crazy? Do you guys agree? Let me know your thoughts below. Now, I'm sure he will bulk up over time, but his size is definitely a concern for defense. Kevin Durant was actually on the Mind the Game podcast this offseason, and he basically said small guards are going extinct unless you're an elite defender like Davion Mitchell, Drew Holiday, those types of guys, or an offensive savant like Kyrie, Darius Garland. Now, Dillingham definitely fits in the Garland mold more than a defensive-minded player for sure. Now, personally, he just hasn't popped as a future starting point guard, if I'm being real. He looks more like a microwave scorer, a playmaker like Lou Williams or Jamal Crawford, which is not a bad pathway because both of them were killers in their peak. But he's also barely 20 years old, so quite honestly, no one really knows what he is or what he will be. I don't know. That's just my prediction. I could be very, very wrong. I'm not afraid to admit it. Plus, guards take a lot of time to develop. Just look at Halliburton, Kyle Lowry, Spencer Dinwiddie, the legend Steve Nash. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Not comparing him to any of them, just saying give him time. I wouldn't be shocked if he found himself out of the rotation consistently just because of his size. Considering Finch just seems to care about defense more than anything, but hopefully that's not the case. I want him to get consistent minutes so you can actually judge him fairly, because right now that's not the case. There's just not enough film. Now, his skill that has popped the most for me has been his quickness and passing ability. So in the middle of the season from January to February, that's where he played the most, 17 games, while averaging 16.6 minutes per game. He averaged 3.4 assists per game, only 1.6 turnovers per game during that stretch. Pretty solid for a rookie receiving inconsistent minutes. But once again, that's why he's hard to judge. There isn't enough tape from a shot-making perspective to say what he is. But so far, his finishing around the rim has been bad. Doesn't really have a left hand in terms of finishing. His three ball and off the dribble scoring game has been inconsistent. But it's clear he has the ability to get hot and take over for windows. So it might just be a situation where he hasn't gotten enough reps, hence why he's been inconsistent in terms of efficiency. Now, for next season, I think adding Malcolm Brogdon is the move. There's been rumors, and even if Rob pops, they need depth at that spot. He'll be cheap because he's very injury prone, but just 2 seasons ago, he was one of the best bench players in the league for Boston, winning 6th Man of the Year. Also had great numbers for Portland in 2024. Both him and Conley would also be great mentors for a young guard like Rob Dillingham. I'm confused why he isn't signed already. He also has size, not small like Conley and Rob, so you can get away with Rob and Brogdon lineups in the regular season, especially considering Minnesota is a massive team overall. 2 guys I really believe will play high minutes and be in the playoff rotation. Number 1, an older young guy, Terrence Shannon Jr. He needs to be unleashed immediately. I expect him to break out. My goodness, Anthony Edwards is actually younger than him. That's crazy to think about. It's really just about finding consistency on defense for him, because offensively, for a role player, he's everything you want. His downhill presence is crazy. He can bulldoze over anyone, and his shot last season season was nice, 35% from three. And in the summer league, he was hitting off the dribble, catch and shoot three-pointers, pretty much any three you can imagine. I expect that three ball to go up. He's going to be a useful player for sure. Next up, you got 23-year-old Jalen Clark. He feels like the Nickeil Alexander-Walker replacement. Defensively on Basketball Index, matchup difficulty, he was graded A, ranked 43 out of 569 qualified players, meaning every time he was out there, he's guarding the best player. Then going over to his perimeter defense grades, all very good on the ball and off the ball. Just a very impactful defender. The real question is, can his offense develop? If it does, watch out. He shot 43% from three, but only 1.3 attempts per game. Upping that volume would be huge for him. And don't forget about Johan Bair. He was awesome in the summer league, and he looks like a young Rudy Gobert. I made a video on him during the summer. He was just cooking. Getting one of those young guys to pop where they can be in the playoff rotation will be huge because we know their core is really solid. But in terms of taking that next step, it's all up to Anthony Edwards. The crazy thing is he's not near a finished product, so that is a possibility. Last season was funny because randomly he decided to have one of the best three-point shooting seasons of all time. A playmaking jump is next up for him, in my opinion. He's now seen pretty much every type of defense and coverage to stop him from scoring, and you can tell he's starting to adjust and understand how to get his teammates going. It really started to click post All-Star break. I remember him saying he's been watching Luka film, and overall, you could just tell there was a point to get better in this aspect. He cut down the turnovers. It turns out pre-All-Star break, 4.5 assists per game to 3.5 turnovers, and then post-All-Star break, 4.6 assists per game to 2.5 turnovers per game. And there were games where you're like, oh, he's starting to get it. And remember, this is a guy who was just wired to score, and that's all he wanted to do early in his career. He's starting to make it a point to make everyone around him better. That's not easy to do, to make that shift, but he's improved so much since year one. I don't really put it past him from making a jump in this aspect. Next season, especially considering he was doing that at the end of the year and into the playoffs as well. The thing with Minnesota, we know they are a great team, but I expect a regression in terms of results. I don't see them making the conference finals again. I thought the bracket really went in their favor last postseason, but who knows? If Anthony Edwards makes another jump playmaking wise, they find scoring on that bench with Terrence Shannon Jr., maybe Jaden McDaniels takes a jump a bit offensively, then you got Rob Dillingham as a wild card to go off at any point in time. I mean, the bottom line is they are not an easy out by any means. And at the same time, they have some intriguing young talent that I'm very excited to see next season. That's all I got on Minnesota. I want to hear your thoughts below in the comments section. Leave a like and subscribe and check out my other videos. Have yourself a great day and peace out.